This is going to be rather hard to synopsize, and in any case, it's certainly not going to be part of the musical or the movie, but I'm including it simply because it gives a rather dramatic insight into the team of players who are coalescing around our own central team in this. Is very mystical. It is utterly inexplicable, and so it's being included just for the pure joy of getting a sense of how the, if you like, the angels are playing with us. This book came to me. It was sent to me by Clara. She ordered it online through Amazon, and knowing that I usually buy my books secondhand on Amazon because I'm always intrigued by the marginalia, and sometimes there are really definite messages for me. So she ordered it, and she had already told me it was coming because her friend is Wendy Weir. And Wendy Weir is an intuitive channeler, has been her whole life. Her brother is Bob Weir, one of the founding members of the Grateful Dead, and when Jerry Garcia passed, Jerry was coming through to her, wanting to tell her news from beyond the grave. And she eventually compiled everything that he said to her, put it into this book. So this book comes for me. I open it up, and there's a bookmark in it. And the bookmark is in the page that is my birthday, August 22nd. So right off the bat, I know, oh, hello, something's cooking here. Now, at the same time that this is happening, Wendy Weir, who knows nothing about John Dee or the Shakespeare mystery. I'd met her once on a Zoom call when Clara said we should, just have a chat. She said she wanted to help me with, I've just been going through a terrible bout of bronchitis for about 4 months, and it was hard for me to even speak at that time. And she said, I am a healer. Would you mind if I ask my spirit guides to try to do something about this blockage in your chest? And of course I said, yeah, sure. So I gave her permission, and she did whatever she does and put my etheric body on her healing table in meditation. And then a couple of days later, John Dee comes to her. She doesn't know who John Dee is, but she just knows intuitively that this is John Dee. And John Dee comes to her and says, I've got a message for Alan. He says to her, tell Alan this. The stage has been set. The players are arriving. The music is about to begin. And then he laughs. She says he chuckles and says, make sure you tell Alan to count all the commas and the periods. Well, as if I don't know to do that. I've been doing that for years and years. It's John Dee's specific methodology. It's unlike any other cryptography. Normally the punctuation is never counted, but I know that. And he knows that I know that. And so look, he laughs and says, tell him to do that. Sort of an in-joke. Well, first of all, you can see that this entire thing is a triple tau with TTT. And he says, here's the last line. This too is a code. And there's the fourth tau. And of course, I intuitively know what to do with it. I'm going to obviously count the number of characters in the whole thing. There's individual meaning in those individual numbers, but I won't go there. The total is 81, and 81 happens to be... There's a system that hasn't been shown in the other presentations where sonnet numbers are placed over a calendar. And so there are sonnet numbers that are to do with each date of the year. My birthday happens to be falling on the sonnet number 81. And so I go, okay, I know what to do with this. This too is a code. I'm going to put it into a grid, obviously. And here's the grid. 9 by 9 is a perfect square. And as always, you'll find where truth is hid, though hid indeed within the center, right in the center. You will isolate that. If you go clockwise around, it's great. And SIC, that's Latin for so it is. All right. There's another sort of goalpost area that mimics the great part below it, because this is Latin and it's a word that means full. Or maybe it's grateful. Okay, right through the middle, again, always consistent in the system, he's now going to put some Hebrew into it, because all of the codes are usually a mixture of English, Latin, and Hebrew. And there's that word. This is in Hebrew. Mavet is Hebrew for death. So grateful in death is being said there. But there's a shortened version of that word Mavet, and it's here just in these 4 letters here, and it is Meta. And Meta is Hebrew for dead. Grateful dead, so it is. Now, at this point, this is just too astounding, but John Dee puts multiple layers into these grids, and so I look at it from a fresh perspective and I see the play. I happen to call my play, as a working title is Bard, but it's such an unknown quantity as to where it was going to go and how it was going to end up. Is it going to be a musical? Is it going to be a movie? Is it going to be a book? Is it going to be a TV series? So as a general catch-all, I call it just the play, or sometimes the TH play, because it's about the Freemasonic symbol TH for the I am that I am. So there's the play, but all of a sudden, a shock, I see my name. Alan Green's TH play. Perfectly balanced as 2 columns, just the way John Dee signs his own name as a 7, 2 inverted 7s. And here he does it again, right down at the bottom, signed OOD. Alan Green's the TH play, Grateful Dead, so it is. What is going on here? This is brought to me in a message from an intuitive who doesn't know the whole setup, doesn't know the methodology of the cryptography. She just knows that John Dee is talking to her and laughing and giving her a message for me. And then I see it. Jerry Garcia. In fact, from another perspective, the entire name, Jerome J. Garcia. That's his full real name. And it's in the shape of a key. And I've seen John Dee do this in other codes. When it's so important, he wants to get it across. It's in the shape of a key. This is a key to something, right? And I'm just about done with it, and I'm thinking, well, this is just astounding, and how brilliant and how wonderful, and I don't exactly know. Well, this is not going to go, this is too personal to ever be put into the play, but it's a sort of a confirmation, isn't it, of, wow, who's behind this? And then I read a book that I had not read yet about John Dee, which had a piece of information I did not know. And it said, the angels designed a ring for Dee to wear made out of pure gold, identical to the ones Solomon wore to ward off demons and protect the Ark of the Covenant during the building of the temple. The letters Pele, P-E-L-E, from the Hebrew phrase God will work wonders, were inscribed in the 4 corners. So right dead center between Alan Green's The TH play, there it is, Pele, in the top part of the structure, and again Pele in the lower part of the structure, and again to the right side of the structure. 3 different iterations of it, right dead center, right in the middle between the names, just like a ring. I don't know what else to say. I'm going to leave you with that. It's just the way John Dee's angels roll. Yes. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.